Yeah, everything's good. Oh, hey, hi guys, it's Victor, King of the Morons with...
Tomoko
This
です。
is Tomoko desu from the Bowie Tomo 0803 Tomoko channel.
はい、ありがとうございます、
She
ね。
is my guest. For those of you who are new to the Give Me a Break Man channel, this is something we do called what? We're just talking about news, talking about reacting. Got a Japanese person. I'm not Japanese. I got a Japanese person right here. Real authentic Japanese. Real. See? Nothing comes off, right? No yellow paint on that. And an American, and we're just going to talk about, react to,
はい。
recent news. Today's article comes from Japan Today, which we like to visit occasionally. Yes.
Foreign men sound off on difficulties of having a Japanese wife.
日本語だったら何て言うの？
日本の妻を持つ難しさっていうこと、に外国人が、でもサウンドオフってことは、
サウンドオフは文句を言う。
あ、文句を言うのが
The sound off is to 文句を言う to complain about.
じゃあ日本の妻じゃない。
What?
あなた。ね、日本の妻を持ってる。
Yes, I have a Japanese wife, and you are a Japanese wife. So perhaps you can shed some light. You can explain why Japanese women are such a pain in the. Let's get on with it. Okay. So we're gonna go through this article. The article is linked in the description, and we're gonna ask Tomoko what she thinks as a Japanese wife. Okay. So one of the first complaints of foreign men, American, it could be any foreign men, is that Japanese women don't show a lot of affection.
あ、そう。
A lot of affection.
日本の女性は、
Are you uncomfortable with?
まあ何でもいいんだけど。
Just annoying?
どうでもいいんだけど、違う違う、どうでもいいっていうの。
She doesn't care. Just paw her.
あまり表さないということ、日本の女性があまりこう表現、表さない。
They don't like to show their emotions. Okay. But he says they don't want to be touched. Show affection is show. So let me ask you something. Let me say, how do you show affection to a man?
最初
For example, your husband.
それはなんか全然何にも。
Okay, do you hold hands in public?
No.
No. Okay. Do you kiss in public?
No.
No. Do you hug in public?
No.
Really?
でも私、そうね。
But in private, it's different, of course.
No. ね、それやっぱとにかくしないですね。日本の女性はあんまりしないかな。でも外人の旦那さんがいればするんじゃない？
You would imagine if you were married to a foreigner, you might show affection.
するする。
Oh, really? That's nice to know. Okay. Okay, so that's the first one. And another example of that is apparently Japanese women don't say, according to the article, Japanese married women do not say "I love you."
言いません。
Really? Have you ever said "I love you" to
No.
your boyfriend or husband?
ボーイフレンドにはよく言ったんだけど、あとね、旦那さんも新婚の時は言った。
Oh, so she used to say.
そう。
But not anymore.
でももう言わないね。でも男の人も言わないです。
But those boys don't say it too, and that's typical.
そうです。
Now, with your Japanese friend wives, your friends who are also Japanese wives, do you talk about this?
10人に1人が朝行ってらっしゃい、愛してるってやる。
Oh, really? So 1 out of every 10 Japanese wives will say "itterashai," which is like goodbye, have a nice day,
で、チュッてやる
and I love you, and give them a kiss. Where do you kiss them? Never mind. Okay. That's the first one. Okay. Now, we're just going to go through this. You can follow along with this if you like. My wife is really into Japanese boy bands, like the Johnny's Production Group, right? So here's the thing. The comparison is this. They don't show their husbands physical or obvious affection. Or verbal. I'm sorry, verbal. They don't verbalize.
言葉に出さない。
言葉に出さない。言葉に出さない。言葉 is word. 出さない is put out. They don't put it out into words. But they do talk about
自分の好きなアイドルグループとかだと、すごいよ、東方神起にハマってもう韓国に追っかけるとか。東方神起は韓国のグループね。にハマって。
韓国の it's the name of a Korean group.
そう。
Okay. So who are you talking about? Are you talking about you or your friend?
My friend.
So your friend likes this group.
そう。
And
韓国何回も行ってるし。
she's married.
そう。
And she goes to Korea just to see the boy band.
そう。
And how old is she?
同い年ぐらい。
About the same age. And how old is the average member of this boy group?
20代でしょ、20
So
代
they're in
の。
20s. They're in their 20s, okay? So she will actually spend money, go over, but that's a little bit different. But do you think does she say "I love you" or?
言ってるんじゃない？そりゃキ
You
ャ
think so?
ーって。
She screams, but that's a different kind of love.
まあそうね。
That's
でジャニーズに
insanity.
もすごいハマってる子いるよ。
She has a friend who's really into the Johnny's group. Johnny's is another boy band.
だからコンサートもね
She went to a
行っ
concert.
てで前から2列目
She
で
was in the second row from the front.
でジャニーズはみんな若い男の子ね
All the Johnnies are really young guys. Younger than me?
Of course
Of course, yes. What are you talking about?
でふんどしになるの
They wear a fundoshi. A fundoshi is what basically like sumo wrestlers wear.
そうね
That kind of underwear stuff. I'm wearing one right now. I could show you.
優勝よそうねでもうすっごい喜んで
She was so happy.
で鼻血が出ちゃったって
So she was so happy that blood came from her nose. Time out. Tomoko, they don't understand that joke.
そうこれ日本のジョーク
Please
なの
explain. Please explain.
日本では
She doesn't realize this is only a Japanese joke.
あごめんね、男の子も若い時に女の人の裸見たり、興奮すると鼻血が出るの、
So when young men look at pornography, basically, or naked women, right? And they get excited. They get so excited that blood comes from them. They get a nosebleed. They get a nosebleed. So basically, that's a common Japanese. It's basic. It's not true, of course, right?
そうね
You think it's true?
いやでも本当に出る人いるよ興奮して
Have you ever seen anyone who
よ
has?
くチョコレート食べ過ぎて鼻血とか
That's also bullshit.
本当
Yes.
それ外国でない
No. So another common. This is completely. I can't believe we've never had this conversation before. We've done hundreds of these videos, but another common misconception is. Well, no. Let's not say that. We'll say Japanese traditional idea is that if you eat too much chocolate,
でもスーパーなんとかじゃないし
you
ね
will also get a
まあそれは
nosebleed.
本当に
But why do you get a nosebleed from chocolate? Because you're excited? Because you're happy?
そうそう興奮するの
Because you're excited? This is kofunsuru. This is kofunsuru?
興奮する興奮する
Kofunsuru. It sounds like you're hungry or something. So you get so excited that you bleed. And the other one, of course, you get so excited you get from sexual excitement is that you get a
ありません
nosebleed.
かそういうことは
Haven't you ever had that? If you listen, really, if you've ever gotten so excited or from eating chocolate or having sexual thoughts and you had a nosebleed, please let us know in the comments.
そうだよ
I'm really curious to see if that's true. I don't think that's true, but we'll see. We'll see. If anyone, I've never heard of anyone backing that up.
はい
But anyway,
はい次
okay.
はい
So another problem that gaijin men say is that I hardly ever touch. If I even just touch my wife a little, she complains. She gets annoyed. Like you're groping me. Stop groping me.
あそうそれはいつも触りすぎるんじゃない
Oh, maybe I touch too much. But that's not me. That's not me. I don't.
あそうあなたじゃない
This is the man in the argument. It's not
ご
about
めん
me.
ごめん
But for those of you, for guys out there who are interested in this topic for some bizarre reason, I don't know why you clicked on the video. Besides our good-looking personas, is it's not always true, and it depends on the case, of course. So let me just put that out there because my wife says I love you,
おーいいじゃん
and she's always groping me. I'm like, come on, I'm not a sex toy. Okay. Anyway, no, of course not. But I wouldn't say it's that. Is it? I don't have this problem. Okay.
まあじゃあ人によるのね
Yeah, it's a different problem. Now, here's another one. When I watch action movies with our kids, my wife says they're too violent, but then she watches action movies with the kids, like Kamen Rider.
そうね
And what gives? I mean, どうした? Please
まあ
explain.
だから子供が暴力番組を見るのはダメで自分は子供と一緒に見るということ、でしょ
Can you explain
なん
that?
だろうだって私は子供と一緒に旦那さんが浮気するドラマを見てたから
What? You watched a program about the husband cheating on his wife with your husband,
No
with your kids. Oh, that's
クールでしょそれ
You're cool. Oh, you're cool. I don't even know why this is in the article, to be honest.
そうねまあ暴力良くないとかねよく
Yeah,
テレビはすぐそう
but
ね
I will tell you this: when I married my wife, I didn't know, and this is not my wife, by the way. When I married my real wife, I didn't know she liked violent. She liked K1. Apparently, she liked K1, and I didn't know that. So one day after being married, I don't know what, 6 months or something, I come home and they're screaming in the house, and I come home and she's looking at K1, and she's screaming. She's like, kill his ass, kick his ass, and I'm like, what are you watching? She's like, oh, this is a great match, and she explains, and she knows all the characters' names, all the people's names, and I'm like, I never knew you liked this stuff. So that's MMA type fighting, they call it K1 in Japan. So yeah, so my wife's really into violence, but she doesn't like watching violent fiction.
Fiction,
Fictionalized movies. She's not interested into Schwarzenegger or Sylvester Stallone, the Expendables type action movies. She's not really that interested. But she loves to see real violence. But I know also at the same time she's extremely against domestic violence. I tried. No, just kidding. No, but I know for a fact, because of conversations, not because of anything that's actually happened, that if I were ever to hit her, she would leave forever.
そうだね。
And I know a couple Japanese wives who've told me they walked out on their husbands.
そうよ。
Right? They've left their husbands or gone home for at least a couple days, you know? Right? Do you have any experience with that?
まあいいか。じゃあそれは
No,
次
like
の話題は
friend,
何
a friend or something.
あ、フレンドか。私のことかと思った。
And by the way, this is going to be a two-part video. So
そうね。
if you want to see, we're going to go on to the next video. The next video is about domestic violence and Tomoko's friend's personal experience. If you want to see that, click on the link, go on to the next video. See you there.
Bye,
Go on to the
bye.
next video.